This week on Chicago Beer Pass, Nick and I are talking about Kings and Convicts, Ravinia Brewing, Maplewood, and remind you to get your tickets for Uppers and Downers. It's just a couple weeks away. All that and more on this week's episode. These last 3 weeks of the week, what'd you make it to?
Yeah, because, you know, get a cork knocked out, boop, it just flies like fucking 10 feet. We're like, yeah, let's do it. The legend, Mr. Pete Crowley. I love Pete Crowley, man.
How's that beer? It's what you think it is.
It'll be like the stuff you hear. You ever go to, every time you go to Floyd's, all the music sounds like this. Raw, raw, raw.
Hey, and welcome to Chicago Beer Pass. I'm Brad Chmielewski.
Brad, what's up, man? I'm Nik White.
And it's sunny and warm, and I'm loving it.
Dude, it's starting to feel a lot like spring. This brings me joy, man. I don't have to wear that stupid ass bubble coat anymore.
Right. And we can drink non-pastry stouts.
Yes. We are, we got ourselves a Hefeweizen,
right? Kings and Convicts, Stu's Brew, Hefeweizen, where a portion goes to for brain cancer. So
right on. That's pretty cool, man. Yeah, brewed in honor of Dr. Stuart Goldman, who dedicated his life to caring for kids with brain tumors. That's actually pretty cool. Yeah.
This is a very light Hefeweizen.
Yeah, it's a hef. It's a little light on the palate, and visually too.
Yeah, yours is a little cloudier, but I didn't pour all mine out, so maybe I got some goodies.
All the creaminess at the bottom.
Yeah, because usually you think Hefeweizen's more
like the original haze, man.
Yeah, like more of a white kind of realm a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, this one feels more like a pale or just an ale even.
So you were up in where is this? Highwood, Illinois?
Yeah, so I guess that goes right into what was going on this week. I picked up these cans from Kings and Convicts in Highwood, Illinois.
Kings and Convicts. That's a serious name right there, bud.
Yeah, it's a pretty good name. I was looking for another spot to check out that wasn't in the brewing districts.
Yeah.
And so the Kings and Convicts and Ravinia, we'll dive into that in a second, are only about 30 minutes from the city. Where everywhere else we talk about, it's about an hour workforce, or if you go out, it takes like 5 days to get out to Brickstone. But Kings and Convict and Ravinia, they're literally right off the train. Like you could get off the train and walk into either one of those spots. Okay. But I ended up driving, super easy drive. Kings and Convicts, it's right there on the train tracks, lots of parking if you're there on the weekends. And I go in, and there's a dog there. Not just a dog, but like a dog and its owner, so it's a dog-friendly place.
Dog-friendly. You like dogs.
Some guy came in on his bike, got a beer, stood outside, chugged it, and then he left.
And then rolled out.
Yeah.
Highwood, Illinois, man.
Yeah, I ended up getting a couple of their beers. One of them was the Dolce Pale Ale and one of their other IPAs. But I got two light beers because I was driving and I was by myself, so didn't want to go crazy.
Right.
But have you ever been to Kings and Convicts?
I have not. Seen the name, and I believe in the book. But no, I've never been. Yeah, I think the name Highwood sounds familiar. I feel like you said, on your way up to see a concert, it sounded familiar.
Yeah, it's one of the stops, one of the metro stops.
Captain Freelove,
that's what I was drinking. Yeah. Both the beers were pretty light. I love the name, love the logo. I love this can design. Yeah. It says on here it's done by Arcade Box Creative.
Yeah. It's a very fun, cartoony, nature landscape. There's just images of mountains and fishing poles and the good life, man, outdoors life. Rain boots, purple rain boots. I'd wear purple rain boots if I was wearing rain boots.
Yeah, I don't even own rain boots. I barely even own boots. But I saw on the wall in there they had a picture of future location that they were building.
Really?
And it's a giant facility.
Now, how does this place look small? Was the place how big is the current space?
You could fit like 20 people in there.
Oh wow!
And then outdoor area.
Huh.
Maybe 30 at the most. But yeah, it's not that big.
So they're priming for the Highwood takeover.
But their current brewery is like right next door. Like when you roll up, you can kind of peek in the window and see where all the magic's happening.
Okay.
So yeah, I don't know much about the new location or what's happening with that. I don't think it was in Highwood. I believe it was in another town, but it was like right off the expressway, and you'll be able to see it. And I don't know, it looked glorious. So I ended up having a couple beers there, Kings and Convicts. I'm definitely gonna hit that up again because it's right off the train, and it's just a 5-minute drive from Ravinia Brewing.
Right on. One more note about Kings and Convicts. Arcade Box Creative looks like the crew that designed this sweet can we're looking at.
Yeah. So I did Kings and Convicts first because they didn't have food. They have that menu thing where you can order from wherever and they'll bring it to you.
Yeah, that sweet app we were talking to Zola about.
Right.
Yeah.
But Ravinia I knew had tacos.
So
I was like,
and beer.
I'll go get beer first, and then I'll make my way to Ravinia and get some food and some more beer. So that's what I did.
Man. Got your little Lake County two-step going.
I know,
man.
yeah. That was the way to do it. Like those two spots are right next to each other, and being able to take the train, like that's gonna be big over the summer.
Yeah, you're killing it, man. Because if you're downtown, man, you can get off on that train line. You can get off at Malt Row from downtown. You can get off in Evanston.
That's true.
From that same train, and then, like you said, just past Evanston, boom. Now you're at these other two stops. All the way up to Lake Bluff. There's a brewery up there.
1090, right?
Glenwood. That's Glenview.
Oh, Glenview.
Different line, but yeah, same direction.
1090 was in Lake Bluff at one point, weren't they?
No, 1090 was in Glenview, I want to say.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, both those trains go to Lake Forest.
Okay.
Yeah.
But then Ravinia Brewing, I went in there. I think they had a band playing that night. I left before the band started, but the place was packed.
Yeah, they got a cool space. That's the only place I've been.
Yeah, also small too.
Yes.
I grabbed a seat at the bar. I ordered up one of the beers that was in cans that I hadn't had before, so I went with that. And then I ordered up some tacos.
All right.
It was a good time. Their tacos are flour tortilla tacos, but they're real thick. They're almost like bread or even like buns. Like they're very thick tortillas, which was pretty tasty.
Right on.
It's tough to say, like, if I'm going Suburban Tacos, am I going Sound Growler or Ravinia?
That was going to be my question. Where do you rank it compared to the Sound Growler taco? That's the other taco and beer joint that you hit up.
The tortillas made it at Ravinia.
Okay.
Like, I think it made it just a more pleasurable taco. You could eat more of the Sound Growler tacos because it's just your normal, like, thin corn tortilla.
Yeah.
But when you're drinking, you kind of want something a little more substantial in there. So I'm going Ravinia tacos.
Okay.
Over Sound Growler.
There we go.
Yeah.
Head to head.
Yeah, good spot. Like it seems like lots of locals. I overheard people talking like, "Oh yeah, I just moved in down the street," and "Oh, blah blah blah, da da da. Did you see the Ravinia schedule?" And like, just
Dude,
yeah.
Who's it? Well, I'm going to see probably Queen Latifah and Common for sure. But yeah, you're probably going to see Kesha, I'm guessing.
Oh yeah.
But the Ravinia schedule is out. Yeah.
I've never gone to a Ravinia concert.
No.
That was my first time even stepping foot in Ravinia.
Yeah, I think Lionel Richie's going to be there. Side note, Lionel Richie's we saw him out in Tinley Park, one of the best shows.
Oh,
you know
damn.
every song. He's like, we're going to play the hits for 3 hours. Y'all cool with that? And he just goes.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
Okay.
It's really good.
Nice. All right. Well, I don't know. Both those stops, pretty awesome. I would go back to either one in an instant.
Right on.
Like I think Ravinia I'm more inclined to go there again just because of the food. Like too, it's kind of like, oh, the beer's good. Kings and Convicts, the beer's good, but I gotta eat. If I'm driving that far, I like to also go somewhere that I can get food.
Right on.
So yeah,
It's cool that there's more than one option. I'm more enticed to go that way if there's things instead of just the one, right?
right. 'Cause, yeah, that's always hard. Like even, I know I said the other weekend when I went to Workforce, Metal Monkeys around the corner, but I didn't end up going to it. But having 2 stops you can hit up, even if you're just getting 1 or 2 beers at each one, just be like, okay, let's see what what's happening in this little 5-mile stretch.
Yeah, I like these little pockets. This little pocket of Lake County.
Right.
It's got a nice little brewing scene that people are supporting. Very cool stuff.
I should have went to Workforce this past weekend because Teardrop, the coffee place, they were celebrating their anniversary. I messed up. I should have switched my my brewery trips, but
There's a ton of roasters around, right? Like, there's more roasters than you think around here, you know? Like, I remember the ABV Chicago guys, they were having an anniversary party for, like, one of their podcasts. I ended up missing it, but it was at this coffee roaster that I had never heard of, like, right in Wicker Park.
oh,
I'm like,
shit, okay.
huh. Tons of roasters, like Teardrop. Like, it seems like I'm always hearing about new roasters around here.
Yeah, there's lots of little small ones too. So. Awesome. Well, and I think the Ravinia guys were finally glad I made it out there.
Yeah, man. Got some nice shots up there. Shout out to the Ravinia boys or whoever's running the Twitter over there. Yeah.
So-
That's cool, man.
Cool. We'll have to have them on and find out more about the story now that we've both had the food, both made it there. We'll have to get the story.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, we got enough content now.
Yeah.
Just go feature Ravinia post.
Cool. So that was my trip. Did you hit up anything?
Yeah, yes and no.
Okay.
Shout out to Maplewood. You know, I did a lot of driving this weekend. Went in there and got a really nice crawler from them. Didn't stay though. Man, they were banging Kendrick loud in Maplewood. It was fun.
They take the music and they go, we don't even want to hear you talking.
It was slapping. It was cool, man.
You think you got your Guinness on, right?
Oh yeah, St. Patty's Day, man. Yeah, so for me it was Guinness Drought out the can and shots of Jameson.
Nice.
Yeah, no green beer.
Okay.
Yeah, none of those weird concoctions. Just
I
give
didn't
me
even
Guinness.
have any Guinness,
No,
but I'm going to Ireland next week, so I will be drinking.
that's gonna be good.
I didn't want to spoil it. Like,
Shoulders back, and look to the horizon and take your first sip. That's how they say.
that's how you do it?
That's how you drink a
Yeah,
Guinness.
okay.
They say.
My first thing on what would be Saturday morning.
Man, that's gonna be good.
Let's go.
The Emerald Isle. You're leaving, man.
I know.
Damn. It's gonna be. Yeah.
Good. I'll take some shots, put them up, get some Guinness shout-outs going.
Right on. Yeah, I think that's all I did on the holiday side. Goose had that Shamrock Shake Stout. I kind of missed that. I was very curious. It was mint and chocolate.
Oh, the BCS Shamrock?
Yeah, BCS Shamrock. Yeah, kind of missed that. They put out a green beer at Clybourne too.
They did. Uh-oh.
Green beer with glitter.
Oh.
Oldest brewery in town, hitting you with the green beer and glitter. So there's that. Oh, but I ended up at Logan Theater for a wine event, man. Yeah.
Like wine. You were whining or wine?
No, man. They had so it was Cooper's Hawk and
nice,
this guy Chef Tyler Florence, who's on the Food Network. Apparently, he's been on the Food Network for like 23 years. We watched this show called The Best Thing I Ever Ate, and I noticed his face from there, right? But he's got 2 restaurants in San Francisco, and he's got a movie about the San Francisco fires.
Oh, cool.
Right, not San Francisco fires, but the California wildfires.
Wildfires, yeah.
Sorry, yeah, California wildfires. So that's why we went, and then his partner for the event was Cooper's Hawk.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was just like it was like an hour documentary on that.
Oh, neat.
Right, dude. The Logan Theater has like 8 local drafts, which is cool, and it's been open since 1915, but they revamped it in 2010. So it's got a really cool like vintage Art Deco thing going that looks almost brand new.
Oh,
Right. So that's where we were for this thing. Yeah, I wanted to see the story about the fire because it's like, you know, it always reminds you of the Great Chicago Fire, right?
yeah.
And like you hear something like that, like it's the worst, you know, it's this beloved wine region, and like, you know, 2017 was the worst fire ever, only to be followed by the 2018 fire.
Right. So 2019.
Oh
better
shit!
step
Yeah,
up,
you better
right?
just buckle down, right? Buckle down. But yeah, man, because you know the Great Chicago Fire, man, like that's how the legend of Schlitz kind of was born, right? Because like all of our breweries, damn near all of our breweries burned down, right? This fire ran from like Roosevelt all the way up to like, you know, Fullerton, right? So imagine like a fire running from like Soldier Field basically to like Delilah's,
Right.
Right, like the whole city burned up, right? Oh, and then Schlitz is like, hey, I'm gonna come down. I heard you guys ain't got no breweries. That's fucked up. Do you want some beer? And then boom, he starts to slowly buy all these taverns, the tide houses, right? And then he ends up being like the largest landowner in the city behind a Catholic church, right? And that's how Chicago kind of became like like one of Schlitz's main Schlitz town. All at this fire. It was very interesting. Yeah. So that's where I hung out there.
So Schlitz is buying up wineries now.
I wonder. So I'm talking to this guy, Tyler Florence, and we're drinking these wines. And Cooper's Hawk, apparently, they're a winery that has like a bunch of locations in Chicago burbs.
Yeah, they're kind of like the rock bottom of wine.
Something like that.
That's the best way to describe them. Like they are.
Yeah.
They're not your red tail or yellowtail wines.
Right.
But they're not your like I don't know a high end wine. They're
not
not your like half acres. They're your rock bottoms. They're your Emmets.
That's comparable. I agree with that. Yeah. So it's cool. So apparently they all the grapes come in, and then at the central location here in Chicago, a distribution center where they do all the fermentation, and then they push it out to all their different stores.
Right.
Yeah. So a little wine adventure, man.
That's cool.
Yeah. Some of the Sophie is a wine barrel saison, and sometimes I was out at Alter, and they use King's Blood. Their beer that took back-to-back FOBAT medals is aged in wine barrels. Sometimes worlds of beer and wine cross. Mm-hmm. So.
Well, and your beer nerds or beer fans should enjoy like this natural wine trend that's picking up, where you can get more of that like funky, even Brettanomyces kind of things in the wine that you wouldn't have gotten in your wines that are like mass produced or from previous days.
That's true. Like, yeah, a little more layered, a little more nuanced. Yeah, some sour ales are reminiscent of that wine characteristics. Yeah. These worlds kind of touch every once in a while.
Sure.
Yeah, so that's all I did, man. I went to go check out Cooper's Hawk and Chef Tyler Florence.
Nice, sounds good.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, so that was our past week. What's coming up this week? What do people got to make it out to?
Shout out to the Beer Temple, man. They're doing something called Return of the Pastry King. So they had a Pastry Boys event where they invited Microphone, Mars, and Unani out for a battle, and there was a popular vote. So Mars won the pastry beer battle. And now they're making the beer that they won with.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so they're doing a bottle release, and they're gonna have it on tap tonight. It's like a Thai banana stout.
Was that I saw you post on Twitter? Was that the beer you were drinking? You had a microphone beer.
No, that wasn't me.
Oh, that wasn't you. It was on
on CBG's IG.
CBG,
yeah.
Or on their Insta or on Twitter.
On CBG's IG. Yeah, because Microphone just opened. They bought the spot next door.
Oh, okay.
So they call it the Blue Room. And they've got like a full expansion that kind of doubles their space now.
Nice, okay.
I'd like to go to Microphone, but then we got the thing where it's like, all right, I'm at Microphone. Where do I go next?
Yeah, I usually get my car washed.
Yeah,
there's like that nice car wash right there.
But yeah, I wouldn't mind. I'd like to check out Microphone, but no, I haven't been there forever, man.
No,
I had a work thing up there, and I went that day. That was like a year ago.
Okay.
Yeah. No. Also, cheers to the Beer Temple. I think the big event this weekend is probably Barrel Aged Dino S'mores. Barrel Aged Dino S'mores release at Off Color. They're doing 4-packs, pretty little 250 milliliter bottles. Okay. 11 a.m. That's a ticketed event. But any bottles they don't sell in the pre-sale, you can pick up at 5 p.m. Starting at 5 p.m., you can buy bottles going on sale to the public.
Nice.
Yeah. So that's the main thing going on this weekend.
So two events. Check out. There's also Uppers and Downers. We got 2 weeks till that.
2 weeks till Uppers and Downers. Uppers and Downers is March 30th, Saturday. There's 2 sessions, one 11, one at 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna have Michael Kaiser on the next episode of the podcast.
Yeah, man.
So
that'll be good. We'll dive into that pretty deep.
Yeah, so learn a little more about like what to expect from this year.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit of the history.
Yeah.
We'll get up, we'll get down.
For sure. And then of course, Beer Under Glass, the 10th anniversary.
Oh.
Beer Under Glass. Tickets went on sale this week.
Is it the 10th Illinois Craft Beer Week too, or Chicago Craft Beer?
It's gotta be, right?
Or is it just the 10th Beer Under Glass?
Because that was always the opening ceremony. So this has gotta be Bug 10 equals Craft Beer Week 10.
Does
right?
it?
Fuck.
Was Bug before Craft Beer Week?
That's a good question. I don't know.
Which came first?
Which came first? Yeah, that's beer in the glass is I don't know. Fobab's good. I think Bug might be the best event in the city. Well, now you got what's that Hefeweizen one?
Far and away.
It's got some competition. Far and away was fantastic.
Yeah.
Bug traditionally though has always been my favorite event in the city.
And Bug's good when the weather is good. Like it can be hit or miss. It is like what, May?
Yeah, and then this year they moved it away from Dark Lord Day, so I think it's like a week before Dark Lord Day this year. Last year they went head up with Dark Lord Day.
Oh, okay.
So now you're looking around, you're like, well, fuck, Moore has a bottle release the same day as Bug, and then the next day is Dark Lord Day.
I think Microphone had a bottle really, or
Yeah.
did they have small popper?
Pale Popper.
Pale Popper, yeah.
Or now it's like smells like a beer fest.
Oh yeah.
So what they do is, yeah, you're right, because like Pale Popper, which is now smells like a beer fest, was on the original Dark Lord Day date, which was always the last Saturday in April. So when Dark Lord Day moved to like what, Mother's Day weekend, the Smells Like a Beer Fest, they kept that April date.
Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, it started as an alternative to Dark Lord. You're right, the
Right.
Pale Popper Day. Yeah. Oh, so Bug tickets are on sale. That's a $60 general admission, 80 VIP. It's worth it for the 80.
Get VIP.
Yeah.
The reason we'd recommend getting VIP is like this has become a problem with beer fests. Is you wait in line an hour
You might be in line for a good hour.
just to get into the place. So
We're not even fucking around. Like, that's not an exaggeration. Yeah.
Right,
Like,
so-
if you got a general admission ticket.
yeah, nobody serving at Bug runs out of beer like that.
Yeah.
I've never ever seen that happen. Have you?
No, and they're bringing, like, everyone's there. Like, there's over 100 Illinois breweries there.
Right. It takes you the whole night to go around once,
Yeah.
and then you have to decide: do I go all the way back to the other side, or do I drink here? That's how your night's gonna go. So get there an hour early, so you can kind of roll through some of these a little quicker and get to maybe the ones that you wanted to have. If it's more Microphone, Alarmist, Kings and Convicts, anyone,
Right.
just get those first, and then because you can only go around once. Like it's big.
That's true. Big celebration of Chicago, outdoors at it's on the National Register for Historic Places. Very cool indoor-outdoor scene. I don't have to sell Bug. Bug is what it is.
Yeah, and it's Friday now when it used to be Thursday,
Yeah.
right?
It was Friday this year.
And it was Friday last year because no one wants to go to Garfield Park on a Thursday night.
And then, like, it's the only time you go to Garfield Park, like, on the annual schedule of things, right? There's nothing else that really goes down over there.
Right.
Yeah. So, beer in the glass is here. That means it's almost
Almost
festival
summer.
season, bud.
Almost summer.
Yeah.
It's
Let's
more
do it.
important. Festival season. I just needed to not have a jacket for once.
Tell me about it, dude. I'm so fucking depressed, man.
Yeah.
I was doing some work the other day. I'm like, man, I'm sad, man. It's cold all the time. They're like, there's a term for that. I'm like, whatever that term is, that's what I'm going through. Like, I just want some sunshine, man. I just want to chill at the beach.
Yeah, I feel you. Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to Ireland, so there's no sunshine there.
You'd be on vacay, though.
Yeah, but still.
It's very scenic, too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still going to be cold and jackets and
Oh, yeah, it's probably not going to be warm.
no. Yeah. All right. So those are all the events?
Yeah, that's what we got. So, yeah.
All right. What about some beer news? I know we touched on this breaking story of Phase 3.
Phase 3, yeah. And then, there's a podcast I had never listened to before, but I was going to say Smoking Joe's. It's not Smoking Joe's. It's Average Joe's.
Okay, yeah.
Average Joe's got this beer podcast when those guys happened to be on it the same day the announcement came out. So I'm listening and I'm picking up, and that's a really good interview if anybody hadn't heard it. Oh, but yeah, man, it sounds like the GM and the graphic designer and the head brewer all split.
Woo.
And it
Mass exodus.
Yeah, apparently the guys who own More also own a liquor store in Villa Park, like Ardmore Liquors or something. And there was this thing about expansion that they wanted to do to 3 locations and maybe even nationwide. And I don't think it was like, and everyone clearly didn't agree on that. So they're all like, fuck that, we're out of here.
Oh,
Yeah.
shit. Okay.
It was pretty interesting, man. Oh, but what was cool is like, it sounds like their debut beer. Well, first of all, they're going to be all prop brewing up in Lake Zurich
Okay.
at Lake Zurich Brewing.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that was one of the stops I hit with Chris Jacobson of Chicago Hardcore Craft Beer. Well, far in Northburg. Yeah. Oh, but then they're going to package now, so none of that standing in line for 4 hours for his stuff. They're going to focus on packaging.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and but they're making their debut beer at a J.W. Wakefield event down in Miami.
Okay.
Yeah, so apparently there's a party down there for a DFPF. It's a double fruit, passion fruit. It's a Berliner Weiss, 7% Berliner Weiss. They have a full-on party for this beer release. And one of the beers that you can buy is going to be a phase 3 J.W. Wakefield collab called Miami Rainbows.
So the event is not for phase 3. They
No.
just happen to be debuting there. Okay, I was like, why are they having an event in Miami? Who cares about them?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So Miami Rainbows, and this is one of the beers. It sounds like it's a Neapolitan Imperial Stout, vanilla, chocolate, strawberry. This sounds just like the double rainbows that they released for Illinois Craft Beer Week last year.
Okay.
Because they had you come out all weekend long for 3 beers, 1 on each day, and that was one of the beers. A lot of people say that was the best one. Yeah. I don't remember. That was a long weekend.
So I have like a lot of questions. So do you think they're just gonna do what they were doing at Moore, and is Moore they're gonna be like, screw you, you gotta figure out something else?
But another takeaway from that piece was like he's got 65 barrels of beer resting at Moore.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but that's Moore's beer.
It's Moore's beer. Yeah. I mean, so Moore's going to be okay, it sounds like, for at least, however long they
Moore
want.
is gonna go 3 locations. They're fine.
Yeah, they're fine. Yeah, and then they poached the head brewer from Corridor.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
the Corridor's got a new dude too.
Which is funny, man, because, when Maplewood was looking for a brewer, they poached a brewer from Corridor.
Right.
Corridor's always getting their brewers took, man.
Is Moore gonna go down the haze? Because they were like, this.
That was I think that was the other half of their stuff, right? These the henna releases, and then big.
Moore did haze.
They did a lot of haze. They did a lot of 4-pack haze. Yeah, and some big fruity Berliner Weiss stuff.
I've only ever had Have I ever? I don't think I've ever had a Moore beer because I never wanted to wait in line.
It's a pain in the
at
ass.
the
like
festivals. Even the fests are like a long line, so I'm like, nah.
Yeah, like I can remember clearly, like it was drizzling a little bit at Beer in the Glass, and it's the VIP hour, and oh look, there's a line at Moore, and there's a line at Microphone.
Yeah.
So then I just went to Alarmist. Yeah.
Yeah,
There's a
I'll
line.
get that gold medal haze.
There's a line in the VIP. Like there's literally like 80 people here in the line. But that's how people are. Because remember at Far and Away, it was kind of the same thing. Like you could walk right up and get a perennial beer.
Right.
Because everyone's waiting in line for like fucking, I don't know.
Even side project. Yeah.
Yeah, or that crazy crew from the other half.
Right.
Rice Krispie treats and that kind of thing. People like waiting in lines. That's just what it is.
Yeah. Guess what? You're at a fest. You're not gonna remember that beer in 1 hour. I bet you're not gonna remember that one beer. Yikes.
So it sounds like he's getting out the gate in a big way with he's debuting at a fest in Miami. I'd really like a fest that sounds like people are excited for. I've never had any J.W. Wakefield stuff, but they sound very similar to what they just sound like big hazies, big pastry stouts. That's what it sounds from a distance. That sounds like that's kind of their thing down there.
Yeah. No, that sounds cool. I feel like it's weird debuting in Miami for this event. You're a new brewery. Is the Miami scene following what you're doing?
I think it's all about the hype,
Right, but why are you going to sell your beer in Miami too?
It's a collab, yeah.
No, like down the line, like why?
Oh, why do that versus doing something
here
where this is your ground zero kind of home market?
Yeah,
It's a fair question.
just seems yeah.
So yeah, those are some cool takeaways from
Okay,
listening to that. That was a good listen.
nice.
Yeah, I never really listened to that show before. I had like kind of casually heard about it, and then when we talked about it, I'm like, oh shit, there's an interview about this right now when it just got announced.
That's crazy. Yeah,
Let me tune in. So that's a good get for him. Yeah.
nice. Yeah, I've seen it pop up before. I'll include a link here. We'll post it on our Facebook page. Yeah.
If you're Moore, why are you doing 3 locations and going nationwide and then not really getting the sign off of the dude who's really getting it popping for you. If you're more, right? The brewmaster's really the draw here. If you're more, right? The brewmaster and apparently the graphic designer is his wife, and they met in Schaumburg Ram. So how is this a thing?
Yeah, I guess there's right. As the beer drinker, the brewer is the get, but as the owner, that's the brand, right? People are still gonna less people are gonna know that he's not there than know oh, Moore's popular, right?
I see what you're saying. Like once it's popular, it's popular,
right?
And that's more important than who got it.
No one cares as long as it stays good. Doesn't matter, right? It's now the brand's big.
The brand is strong. I went out there once for a $28 bottle of beer. I mean, it was good.
Yeah.
Was it $28 and 2 hours on the train good? Perhaps.
That was going to be my stop this past weekend, but I went to Ravinia instead. I was like, oh, more to do that? Try some of those beers before they're gone? Yeah. I didn't. Another time.
Yeah. That was a good call, though. You introduced us to something new going up north, though.
Right.
So.
Cool.
Right.
Any other news? Or are we done?
That's it for news, man.
All right. We're out of here. Done with this episode. Nick, where can people find you, get in touch when we're not here?
Right on, man. I'm on Twitter at Nicosia.
And I'm on Twitter at BRAD. Chicago Beer Pass on Twitter at Chicago Beer Pass. Instagram, we're always posting sexy beer photos.
Sexy as fuck.
So check that out. Give us a follow. Hit some likes on those photos. And then website, chicagobeerpass.com. Everything gets posted there. Links to iTunes, Stitcher, the YouTube version as well. And we'll be back our next episode with Michael Kaiser talking about uppers and downers. Yeah. Take care.
Cheers.